Our kids named her Fluffy, but tonight she'll be dinner. And this is why we're okay with it.
I haven't always been okay with eating rabbits. First, when we started this rabbit journey, we talked about it, and I couldn't imagine eating our breeders. I wanted to keep them forever and let them die a natural death. But that's really hard to do with rabbits.
You might think it's easy and you do this naturally, but it's not. It's not always easy. There's lots about homesteading that's physical. The work, the discipline, the grind of every day. But I think what most people would have struggle with is the emotional. It's not easy. It's a different way of thinking.
And then I started to think about the other side of it. And I started to think about the quality of the meat and the idea of giving them a good life. Somewhere where they can be happy and healthy for the first number of weeks of their life. I like the idea of knowing where my food comes from, knowing what they eat, what's in their bodies. That's going to go into our bodies.
We go and buy a steak from a store. Maybe it costs $15, $20. We don't even ask where it came from. We have no concern about the animal that it came from. We buy a chicken. We don't ask any questions. It's wrapped up, looking good. Perhaps we even buy it already cooked. I know where that rabbit has been, how it's been processed, until the moment it comes into the world, until the moment it goes into my mouth.
I think the part that got me over the emotional side of it is starting to see them as no different than any other sources of meat that I eat or that we eat. We don't often think about the chicken or the cow or the pig that we pick up from the grocery store and we eat, and we know nothing about where it comes from. We don't know anything about what life it's had. We don't know how it was cared for. We don't know what was put into its body. And how is it any more valuable than, or less valuable rather, than the rabbits that are here in this place right now?
We're homesteading right now with 4 teenagers. But when we started out, it was with backyard chickens, and we had 4 kids. We got some eggs from a local farmer, and we put them in an incubator and we hatched them out. It was pretty exciting. We hatched out 4 chicks. 4 lovely little chicks. And we thought to ourselves, wouldn't it be great if they all turned out to be hens? 3 were roosters, and we had 1 hen. It wasn't long before the roosters started getting aggressive with each other, and we had to make a decision. We didn't want a rooster. We couldn't have a rooster where we were living in the community at the time. So we ended up calling a friend. I didn't really want to process the roosters in front of the kids. You know, you're afraid it might damage them. You might scar the kids emotionally. Gord looked at me and he said, I was raised on a farm. Do you think I'm damaged?
I mean, have you ever seen a baby chicken or a baby cow or a baby pig, and they're all cute? And yet we don't usually have a problem, most of us don't usually have a problem walking into a grocery store and picking up that pack of pork chops or that chicken. So I think that's kind of what pushed me over it a little bit. In Newfoundland, we like to hunt moose and snare rabbits. Some of us probably even hunt grouse. But for some reason, when it comes to tame meat rabbits, we often struggle. We look at these guys as pets, and nobody wants to eat their pets. And some of the other reason, I think, for Newfoundlanders especially, and maybe some other parts of the world, who snare rabbits or snowshoe hare around here, we think that the meat is the same, but the meat is totally different than a snowshoe hare, or rabbits as we call them in Newfoundland. These rabbits taste very much like chicken when they're cooked.
Fast forward to our next brood of chicks that came out. We had some roosters, we had some hens, and it came time to deal with the roosters. We did it ourselves. We took responsibility, and the kids were in there like a dirty shirt. And I'm gonna tell you, 10 years later, our kids are nothing but better for it.
I think too often I'm guilty of putting human emotions and human thoughts onto animals, and I find it hard to separate that. Animals just live for the day, and they just live for the moment, actually. And for them, one moment they're here and one moment they're gone. They don't think about the future the way we do.
And that's what taking responsibility for your life actually looks like. It gets messy, it gets emotional. It's not comfortable. And when I look at my freezer, it's full. It's full of the meat that we raised ourselves, the work of our own hands. We've taken responsibility. We know where our meat came from, and we love it. And that's why we ate Fluffy. Join us next week. We're going to be looking at the hidden reality of what farmers are doing in Newfoundland that affects us all.